Last time on Ace Attorney.
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn.
Then I must be hard!
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Alright, Rise from the Ashes. Second part of day 2. Alright, it looks like this trial is gonna be definitely longer than the last ones, and I am hella excited considering, this is the final trial of the game, and after that, we're gonna be taking up a little bit of a break before going on to the second game. But yes, while I was editing the last episode, I kept on thinking stuff through, right? And I was able to I wasn't able to piece much together, mind you, but some small stuff, right? Probably the biggest thing that I realized I could explain, but it's easier for me to show you. I need to go to the trial record, so give me a second while we get to the trial record so I can show you this. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. Alright, yeah, stop sobbing, yeah. Alright, see, I just don't understand how the order of events went down, right? Because, let's look at the floor plans, right? So, first of all, crime happened here, then, Lana went around this wall and tried to use the telephone, right? However, she failed and had to use her cell. Now, during this time, we know that, Angel Star was in the security room and she was able to witness the crime or some form or something that indicated that a crime was indeed going on, because otherwise she wouldn't have any reason. If she didn't think that a crime is going on, she would have no reason to try to head down and apprehend Lana, right? So she clearly saw the crime, something of the crime, and then saw Lana head to the telephone. At which point, she tried to go around the back through this door to access the telephone, but it was locked. So she went all the way around, right, through here. Now, Star confirmed that by the time she came out through this door and entered the B lot, she, roughly 5 minutes had passed. Now, we also know from the person that, Lana last called, Emma, that this whole interaction here with the telephone took place over a couple of seconds. There was no extended call, just a couple of seconds, right? Then, 5 minutes later, right, she is, not only has she not left the scene of the crime, instead, she's moved back here and is now looking into the trunk of the car? Perfectly posed for this photo, right? Like, okay, maybe she didn't leave the scene of the crime for some reason, but why would she head back to the car to look at the body, right? Now, what's more suspicious is that we talked about the blood on the floor, right? As you remember, the victim's shoe clearly had bloodstains on the bottom, meaning that he stepped in a puddle of blood. Now, in this picture, we see that there is no puddle of blood. However, Edgeworth tried to argue that the reason why no puddle of blood was present is because all the blood was wiped away when Lana knocked over a water barrel, which wiped away all the blood. Now, okay, so, and that is corroborated by the fact that we have the other picture that is not on the court record for some goddamn reason, which showed the body in the trunk with the shoe and the floor covered in water. Okay, that makes sense, right? That does certainly seem to indicate that the floor was wiped of any blood. However, if you take a look at this picture, right? This picture must have been taken before the water was spilled. They couldn't have spilled the water and then let it dry, because then it doesn't make any sense. The picture by the car had to have been taken after this picture, right? Because this picture had to have been taken when Star first arrived in Block B. Now, in this picture, you can see neither a blood stain, nor water, nor a water barrel on its side. Not to mention that Angel Star mentioned that the water barrel was spilled while she was trying to apprehend Lana. Meaning at this point, no water had been spilled, yet there are no blood stains. It makes no sense. The timeline just makes no sense. Why would Lana stay at the scene of the crime? Why would she return to the car and look into it? And why are there no bloody footprints or puddle? None of it makes sense, right? Which is why, well, so we know that wherever Goodman died, there is a pool of blood. Yet here, there is undeniably 0 pools of blood. Your fucking bullshit story about the water barrel can't hold any water, pun intended. So, the only option is that the crime scene is actually somewhere else, more than likely the police department. So, alright, I'm starting to be able to build a slight foundation for my case here. Still don't have anything concrete, still no suspects, still no big plot ideas. I just have a bit of a foundation upon which I can build my upcoming deductions. But yes, now that I'm done rambling, let's get back into it. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Yeah, pretty much. Except today, we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyways? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Huh, probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So this is where we turn this trial around, right? No, that won't happen until day 3, probably. Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. I'm guessing, yep, had to be. They say you show red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up his temper. That's what they told me when I was young, at least. Officer Marshall? Thought you'd come take a look to see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? Oh, that hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there, anyways? Yeah, again, it makes no sense that, this is like a super private meeting, and yet somehow Officer Red Dead Redemption 2 here is somehow invited. All the police I've seen the last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Well, now don't that just beat all? Huh? I've seen the red breeze blow her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edward's seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. Could the scarf be what's in the muffler? Muffler within the muffler type of deal? Maybe. So Miss Starr wasn't mistaken? Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. Sometimes you just gotta let the bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. Especially with him around. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee. What are you smoking, man? Jesus! February 23rd, 12:32 p.m., District Court, courtroom number 9. Let's get to it! I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Oh, Jesus! Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well, then I believe it's time we continued on with this trial. What the hell is going on with Edgeworth? That's bizarre. During our recess, I have requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me? Knock knock? Who's there? Who the fuck are you? What's with this guy and the fucking gothic music that is playing all of a sudden? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Who the fuck are you? Probably the killer. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? Ah, it's you! He's just standing there, menacingly! Hello, hey! Sorry I'm late, OG. The roads are packed, it's just me. Long time no see, eh, OG? How you been? So much these days? Ah, hello! No, I've been so busy. Busy smidgy, OG. My boy, you better make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Udgy seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. I'm sorry, but who are you? Aha! So, you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks? Sorry about our little Worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little Worthy? Mr. Wright! You don't know the district chief of police? Mr. Wright is just I frankly have no idea how this man is an attorney. He has not even the slightest clue how evidence law works. He doesn't know the chief prosecutor. He doesn't know the chief of police. Oh my god. But yes, I take it you're the man behind this whole conspiracy thing, right? It has to be. Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. God, those eyes are hypnotic. Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fella. I just thought I'd help out. By bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So, Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. Okay, so she had the muffler on. Then, in those 5 minutes, her muffler was gone. So she probably stuffed it into the car's muffler, I guess? But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe, yep. own little worthy's car, no less. What is that? It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief? What kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth! I love this man! This man just straight up not taking shit from the chief of police. How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I have no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says a person in charge of an investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got the award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean this mess up. What you made. Yeah, I hate these guys. You know, the ones that are like really soft and cuddly on the outside and on the inside will fucking skewer you alive. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. Yeah, that's a rare sight. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence. Don't worry, Edgy Boy. I'll get your revenge for the both of us. We'll get him locked up. Just you watch, Edgy Boy. We'll work together and lock this bitch up. No one makes my Edgy Boy cry. Not on my watch. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at this blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yeah, well, I think all you have to do is push the switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I won't be able to point at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Why don't you do it? Oh, no. What's that? There's a small tag on this knife. It seems to say SL9-2? What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. DL6 incident fame. But it's strange. Huh, what is? I'm not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that looked a lot like this, somehow. Huh. I'll have to check our other case number before, then, at some point. Don't scare me like that! I'm the one who's scared! I almost lost a finger! Look at that nice blade! The tip is broken off! And this dark red stain. Blood? Is this the true murder weapon? Interesting. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. Hold on 1 second. 67S. SL. Ah! It's upside down? What? Okay, game. I see what game you're playing. That is actually not 67S, motherfuckers. If you write it upside down, SL9, right? And that also changes this date from 12/2, which could be a date, to 2/12. 21. Unless that's supposed to be a number, in which case it's 2121? I don't know. All I know is that the thing that we previously thought to be 6-7S is, in actuality, SL9. So this is the case that Goodman was looking into. And this is, in fact, the knife pertaining to that case. Interesting. Perhaps they're going to bring up something about, Lana bringing this knife with her and thus it being premeditated, and then I could be like, nah, Goodman had this knife beforehand. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife? Sure, not a problem, not even a little one, really. I really don't like you. Department in disorder. Let's see. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Okay, so there were indeed 2 murder cases. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Uji. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Yeah, Edgy knows what's up. He knows that this is beyond weird. Order! Anyway, we at the department were all flustered. As you might well assume, we're in the middle of a top-secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places? The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Right, I think what we have to do is prove the connection between the knife and Goodman. Which I think we can easily do. This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on in the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto. Evidence that links the knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should start presenting the piece of evidence that had me stumped all this time. So, how were things down to the department? Right. That would be the Goodman's note. Wait a second. At last! An honest-to-goodness objection! This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from Uji? This is great! Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL9-2. And is that important? Why? Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7S, 12-2. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside! The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up, but turn it around and what do you get? Oh, aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. Oh, what's today's date? February 21. Yeah, that's when the murder happened. Okay, so 2/21 is the date on which he was supposed to file the case. So okay, so that's not relevant to anything. It's just, further confirmation that yes, this is the case. It's essentially a reminder to himself to like, oh, I gotta file this case by this deadline. Okay, I was wondering what that was, but yeah, okay, I get it now. Whoever wrote this note is holding paper upside down. SL6! That's the same thing that's written on the knife's tag! Order! Well, Chief. Oh, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. So I'm guessing we're gonna have to figure this one out then. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say? Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice! Good show, little worthy! It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder? And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car? Okay, but like, if I'm piecing all of this together, right? Then, if I'm piecing all of this properly together, then this should have been a case that Edgeworth and Sky handled together, so he should recognize that number unless he just doesn't pay that much attention. It was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. Evidence from a case. I don't know what we have there. We might need a press to try to get some more evidence in the court record. That might be it. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp. Hungry. So, something did happen. And why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No, but there's a reason they've kept this top secret. Even Gumshoe had no idea what was going on. Huh. No matter, I understand. You were busy with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened to the police department that day? The detective was killed in the police department, see? What a mess. The hell does that just happen? On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot? Another detective was killed at the police department. That's a fact! Surprising, isn't it, Uji? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested them, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto? I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one! This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Oh, dear. Okay, we already know when the victim died. We know where he was found. So I guess the only thing to know is when they were killed. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife. That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit we're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. Seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, hey? 5:15? But that's... So Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time? What are the chances? coincidence? I think not. It's just my gut feeling, but I say there's a 0.001 chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about this incident. How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police! I can't just say anything I please, Righto, you understand?
Try to understand, Righto.
Well, if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together. Whatever it is, I better find and get to the bottom of this. Two detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office, and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And the knife! What was it doing there? I better check this knife out. Alright, where was the victim found? I swear if you stay in the trunk of a car, I will shoot you. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was in the evidence. It was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Ha! You don't say! Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection?
Yes, out with it, Mr. Righto.
The connection is a place. Oh, fuck, I skipped that. The knife was found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention, the victim had on him the case number of the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room.
Indeed! There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence.
You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet, and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What, really? Who would have guessed? Well, that was easy. I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim of the department, okay? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Oh well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. The victims... What's something I can tie this to? Ooh, I do have Goodman's ID, though. ID number. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name, after all. Oh my god, what if it's Goodman that got murdered at the police department, just like I said? We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is... Wait, I need a... 584-2189. Let me just check. 584-2189!
Well, that's quite long.
And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts.
8-2. I can't do it.
You didn't even get the first number right.
Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you everything?
Yeah, this tells us everything. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. The man that was killed at the police department was Goodman. In fact, therefore, no one was actually killed in the prosecutor's office! Is that what they were trying to do? Hide the crime at the police department? And to try to get Lana convicted of basically a sort of Xerox of the crime? I think. Meaning, it has to be what I think it is. Come on, use that big brain, right? What does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department. Tells you something? What does it tell you?
Take that!
Witness?
What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night!
No, it's just... I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with it. Just come out with it with both guns blazing, like you always do. Thanks for the encouragement, Edgeworth. The police department, the prosecutor's office, 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Oh, is it yours?
No, Your Honor. Defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 584-218-9.
And this means what exactly?
Huh?
Wait! That ID number we just heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten.
You didn't even get the first number right again. The number the chief of police gave us was 584-218-9. Wait a second, right? What is this? Mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman! What does our witness think about that? Oh, sharp as a tack, Ryder, sharp as a tack!
Wait, Detective Goodman is our victim!
What the fuck is happening here? What is this bullshit? Oh my god!
Don't steal our victim like that!
What the fuck is going on here? Okay. I'm out! I'm done! I can't do this anymore. I'm done! You know what? Fuck it! Fuck it! I'm done! I can't do this! Nope! I'm out! Nope! Nope! I'm back. I'm at a loss for words here. What the fuck? I'm getting fucking chills down my spine from this bullshit. Jesus, this case is not good for my health. And I love it. It's like a drug.
He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
Yet a detective, Bruce Goodman, was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, and in 2 completely different places?
Order! Chief, what does this mean?
No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case! Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait! I said, wait! Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, there yours. What? How dare! We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! Oh, that one officer? Excuse me, but Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I got your report, sir. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Gah! Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem, challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted the report this morning to the court as evidence. Then No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy! What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law, What, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list.
So, what does this mean?
I couldn't submit this as evidence until a connection was proven in court. What the fuck? The connection was just proven by Righto over there. Good job, Righto, my boy. Huh? Oh, I, just doing my job. No. No!
It seems we have come to the end of this trial.
I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all these rumors? You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Please, just give me one more day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened if it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Whatever your punishment for this, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned.
All right, it's just a short one. To be continued. Nice. Yeah, okay, that was a short and sweet one. That only rocked in like 47 minutes on recording. Gosh, who knows what that's gonna get cut down to. This might actually be one of the shortest videos on my channel. Wow, you know, when I started recording this, yeah, I was expecting to go in on this for like an hour and 40 minutes like I did the last episode. Nope! 47 minutes. Take it or leave it. But yeah, alright, I'd just like to say, what in the diddly darn fuck is happening here? I have no clue. So, okay, let me get this straight. Detective Goodman was killed in the police department. So, who the fuck was killed in the prosecutor's office? I mean, Angel Starr saw something. But what could it have been? Because certainly wasn't Goodman getting murdered unless he has a twin brother and they like live like the same life together, but use their ability to swap in and out for each other to like commit crime or some bullshit like that. Other than that, I honestly have no clue how this works. Because I guess that would imply that either A, the body that was found on the scene of the murder at the prosecutor's office was not Goodman's body. In other words, we have absolutely no clue who the victim even is, and therefore no way to tie that victim to Sky, right? Because, if Goodman was killed in the police office and that corpse we found at the prosecutor's office is not Goodman's, then that means that blood on Goodman's shoe from Sky has absolutely nothing to do with this case. Therefore, the decisive evidence that the prosecution had is no longer valid. That's good. Now, if it is Goodman's body, then that would mean that Goodman was killed in the police department and then moved to the prosecutor's office. Now, that is also great because it means that since Sky was witnessed at the time of the murder in the prosecutor's office, she couldn't have committed the crime and then moved the body at the police department. In other words, it completely absolves Lana Sky of any guilt. However, this doesn't really make any sense because if the body was simply moved from the police department to the prosecutor's office, then I don't understand why these are being treated as two separate cases as opposed to just one. Because, that would imply that, there's two separate investigations ongoing. If that's the case, right, I guess the other possibility is that there is no body in our case, in which case I honestly have no idea how that works. Like, did they just think the body, got disintegrated or something? I have no clue. What the fuck is going on? The only scenario that I guess makes sense would be that the body we found at the scene of the crime isn't Detective Goodman, because nobody found that. That seems like a stretch. And the body being moved, then it doesn't make sense that there'd be two investigations. So it has to be that. Either way, Sky is basically absolved of guilt, which is good. But yeah, I have genuinely not a goddamn fuck to say with regards to this. I am getting mindfucked right now. Oh my god, this is a good case. Yeah, this is easily already my favorite case from this game. Like, holy shit, it's good. Well, yeah, anyways, my brain is fried. I can't even do a fucking outro. Okay, that's gonna do it for this episode of Ace Attorney, I guess. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you want to chat and hang out with us, streaming Persona 4 Golden on Sunday, so 3 p.m. Eastern Time. You can set a reminder down on the channel, or you can join our Discord down in the description, and we're always on there. So, yeah. What the fuck is going on here?